You know, when you think about reading, you probably picture someone curled up with a book, right? A quiet, solo thing. But what if we could flip that on its head? What if reading could become this dynamic team performance that builds skills and confidence? Well, today we're going to talk about a strategy that does just that. It's called reader's theater. So here's the big question, right? For any educator or parent, how do you make reading feel like a team sport? How do you get kids off the sidelines and actually into the game with a text so it doesn't just feel like a chore? It's a huge challenge for sure, but the solution? It's surprisingly simple.
Okay, so let's talk about the main challenge, passive reading. Sometimes, with traditional reading, the words just sit there on the page, They don't always connect or spark that imagination and deep understanding we're hoping for. That's the problem we're looking to solve here.
So, how do we tackle this? Well, there's this amazing strategy that completely changes the game. It turns reading into something active, something with a real purpose, and honestly, it makes it genuinely engaging for absolutely everyone involved. So what exactly is reader's theater? At its core, it's all about using your voice as the main tool. We're not talking about elaborate sets or memorizing a bunch of lines. No, it's all about bringing a text to life through your intonation, your phrasing, your emphasis, all while the script is right there in your hands. No pressure.
And this is a really important distinction, because when you hear the word theater, your mind probably jumps straight to a big school play, right? Costumes, sets, forgotten lines, all that stress. But reader's theater is totally different. It strips all of that away. The focus is 100% on the text and the vocal delivery, which makes it a super low-pressure but incredibly high-impact activity.
Okay, so we've got the what. Now for the why. What makes this strategy so powerful? Let's dive into all the benefits for students, because they are huge. We're talking everything from academic skills to just social and emotional growth. First up, the academic side. This is a game changer for reading fluency. Think about it. Students reread their parts over and over, not because they have to, but because they want to make their performance better. They're not just decoding words, they're getting inside a character's head to understand meaning. This naturally boosts comprehension and expands their vocabulary in a way that actually sticks.
But it's not just about literacy. The social and emotional gains are massive. Kids strengthen their speaking skills, they build real confidence in a supportive group, and they learn how to truly collaborate as a team. Honestly, working together on a fun goal like this can completely change the vibe of an entire classroom.
I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. It's so much more than just reading words out loud. The kids have to talk to each other, right? They have to discuss, persuade, and negotiate their performance. They're learning to express their own ideas while also listening and building on what others are saying. It's communication in action.
Now, this all sounds great in theory, I get it, but you're probably thinking, okay, how do I actually make this happen in a real classroom? So let's get down to the nitty-gritty and talk practical steps.
To make this work, you really only need to nail two things. First, pick the right script. Keep it short and punchy, so students can rehearse it multiple times without getting tired of it. And if you can connect it to the curriculum, even better. Second, group your students effectively. Pairs or triads, that's the sweet spot. Everyone has a meaningful role, and it's much harder for anyone to hide or disengage.
You know, the beauty of this strategy is how flexible it is. This isn't a one-and-done thing. You can use it for regular fluency practice. You can take it across the curriculum. Imagine a history class performing a debate between historical figures, or a science class acting out the journey of a water molecule. You could even use it as a super fun way to review for a test.
And to show you how this works in the real world, let's look at a fantastic example. It's the Scholar Program run by the English-Speaking Union in Hong Kong, and they use reader's theater to help secondary school students.
The program has three really clear aims: get kids interested, build their confidence, and increase their vocabulary. And the outcomes show exactly how they do it. They create a fun experience of speaking like an actor, while also getting the students to practice their language skills in a collaborative, analytical way. It's a perfect real-world example of these principles in action.
So as we wrap this up, what's the big takeaway? It really all comes down to the transformative potential of this one simple strategy.
This is it, the core idea. Reader's theater takes reading from a private task and turns it into a public performance with a clear purpose and an authentic audience. It gives students a real reason to reread, to strive for expression, and ultimately to find their own voice within the text.
And so I'll leave you with this question to think about. By shifting our perspective just a little and seeing the classroom as a potential stage, we open up a whole world of possibilities for engagement, collaboration, and deeper learning. So, What amazing things could your students do with that opportunity?